Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Yeah, the old clock says it's 5 o'clock. Beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. We're going to do the Foothills IPA of the month. This is April of 2015. They call this one Finley. And the commercial description says, this month we salute rescued mutts everywhere with Finley, whose bag of tricks could fill a three-ring circus. Her IPA is almost as much fun, with an entertaining melange of 5 different hops full of warm weather tropical flavors. More simply, a beer full of Finley-esque charm. ABV on this one is 6.6. IBUs are 74 on this one. Couldn't decipher a date code on yesterday's. Had a bunch of yellow writing. Now I just got it out of the fridge, and the yellow writing is not at the top of the bottle like it was on yesterday's, but it's sweating profusely. Says here 6.6 to 74, so it's got that information on the label, and it says IPA of the month April of 2015 Finley right on there, but we don't know the bottle date. Well, they bottled this in January, February, March for April, so that'll make a difference on how fresh hopefully Mark and the guys up there at not Mark, this is from Foothills. I told you wrong yesterday. It's not Mark Thompson, he's at Star Hill. Where's my brain at? The brewer down there is Mr. Bartholomew down at Foothills. So my apologies on yesterday's reviews. It's not Mark Thompson's a brewer at Star Hill, guys. So I apologize for giving you misinformation yesterday. Mr. Bartholomew is the head brewer down at Foothills. So I know that because I went down there for a beer class one time, and his wife Sarah taught the class. So I will tell you this, though. The sexual chocolate that these guys put out. Of course, there's a lot of hype around that beer. You have to stand in line, get there at 4 or 5 o'clock, and stand in line for 2 or 3 hours just to get several bottles because it's very limited. This is a very tasty beer, though. But there's a lot of hype surrounding that beer, too. They produce just enough to create that hype. Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that at all. Don't want to stand in, like, camp out or stand in line to get beer. Too old for that horse hockey, guys. Just a lot of you guys go and stand in line, and I've done it. I've been there and done that. I just don't do it anymore. I just don't. And if that's what it takes to get the beer, I won't get the beer. But anyway, this is their IPA of the month, April of 2015. So hopefully it'll be a little tastier, a little hoppier than the March one we did yesterday. That's another reason, and I was telling you guys yesterday that it was done up here and they shipped it by there, but this is Foothills. They're in Winston-Salem. They're not in Charlottesville, Virginia. So I gave you some misinformation yesterday's beer, so I apologize for that. Shit happens. Especially if you've done as many beer reviews and they run together as often as I've done them. So one every day, and they tend to run together sometimes. But Foothills is in Winston-Salem, and they do some pretty tasty stuff down there. Very nice brew pub they have there. Real nice food to go with it. If you're in the Winston-Salem area, you ought to stop in and check out Foothills Brewing. They do some tasty beers down there. They really do. And you get them there, you know they're fresh. You don't have to ask about any bottled on date. It's coming right out of the brewery, right to the damn tap. So, all right, let's get on with this one, guys. I'll give you the ABV, the IBUs. So, food pairing for this is your typical IPAs. Curried and Thai is the cuisine. Cheeses are peppery, Monterey pepper jack, sharp blue cheddar. Your more pungent cheeses, Gorgonzola Limburger. And the meat is fish, poultry, shellfish, salmon, and I will add grilled meat. So let's pop the cap on this puppy and see what we got. Hopefully it'll be a little tastier than yesterday's. Whoa, big hiss. Boy, both these bottles have had big hisses on them. Surprised it's not trying to run out of the top. And this is a bomber. It's a 22 ouncer. I'm going to share some of that just like I did yesterday. Over into the light. There is a little more light coming through this one than yesterday's. But it's still kind of cloudy. Got a serious chill haze on it. About a finger of head on that pour. About the same color as yesterday. A deep orange tangerine almost to the gold, to the copper color. Nice rich color. Let's get a nose on this one. It doesn't say what hops that they've used on this one. This has a little more hop presence to it because it's fresher, and they probably use a little different hop on this one. I think that's the idea behind here. Whether they're using the same malt and just changing up the hops, or they're changing up the malt bill too, I'm not sure, guys. I'm really not. But they've been doing these beers for a while. Probably explains why I'm not getting them here. They're probably only producing enough for the local area. I picked this up in Greensboro. So Winston-Salem is still in North Carolina, but not seeing these beers here in Virginia. Nice citrusy notes. Very typical. A little bit of tropical notes in there. Maybe a little mango. Maybe some oranges and tangerines. Maybe some passion fruit. Smells very sweet though. Like I said, the IBUs on this one, what did I tell you? Is 74, so it's about where yesterday's was. So let's give it a taste and see what we got. Cheers, everybody. To me, it tastes like the same beer with a little different hop. Got the same maltiness to it. Just a hint more of the hop presence. Still definitely not a West Coast style IPA. And if I was guessing, and I am guessing, I'd say they're probably brewing the same recipe and just changing up the hop profile, brewing it with different bittering hops, different flavor hops, different aroma hops, and maybe even dry hopping it with something a little different. And they're changing that up from month to month just to create these beers. Just my opinion. Very nice, but like I said, I don't think it's anything that's outstanding. Definitely getting the bitterness on the back end of this one though. Just a tad fresher. Just a tad hoppier. But it pretty much tastes like the same beer with some different hops in it. Alright guys. Pretty much as I expected though. So let's let it warm up and share some of this, and we'll come back and do the grade on this one. This one is Finley. Finley, I say. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. This one is a tad better than in March, and I don't know whether the beer is better or just the beer is fresher. It doesn't tell me what hops they've used in this, other than just having a different label on it and being a little bit fresher. I don't have a clue, guys. So I think they're producing these beers just to throw out something different every month, or rather than their typical IPAs that they produce, and just to be something a little bit different. And people like to flock to stuff that's just a little different. Well, every month they're doing a different beer with a different label on it, and if they're using different hops, that's going to change the beer characteristics just a little bit. But if they're using the same recipe, it's basically the same beer with just a different hop profile. Whether they're using different hops in the bittering or the aromas or the flavor, or even dry hopping it with something different, or all the above. I mean, they could use any combination to change up the beer just a little bit using the exact same recipe for the beer. But anyway, let's do the final chug on this one. This has a tad stronger hop profile on this one. Seems to be a little more citrusy. A little more grapefruit in there. A little more tropical notes. But like I said, that can be from just being a month fresher. Or it could be different hops altogether. It's hard to tell. Only the brewer knows. Final chug. Decent beer. Slightly better than yesterday's beer. And like I said, that can be from the freshness or the hops. It could be either one. But it tastes very similar in the basic taste of the beer with the malt that they've used and the actual taste of the beer. Hops excluded. I think it's a tad better, so I'm going to give it just a tad better. I think I gave yesterday's beer a 6. I'm going to give this one a 7. Still not an A beer to me. A lot better beers out there, but a nice. If you're trying to get from a pale ale to an IPA, and you can get your hands on this one, it might be a nice one to transfer into. I don't think it was very expensive. It wasn't a pricey beer, which is a good thing. And it's definitely enough to share. Or if you want to get your buzz on, you drink it all yourself. It's a 22 ouncer. It's a bomber. But and didn't blow my hair back or my socks off or anything, but it was a tad better than the March version. So this is the April version, the Finley April 2015 version. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 88. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, it would probably be somewhere in that vicinity, 86 or an 87, somewhere in that vicinity. Not quite to the B+. 85, 86 maybe. Once you start getting to 87, 88, you're getting into the B+ category. Borderline. I would almost say 86. So, and over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says no score requires more ratings. So evidently it's a very small distribution. Not a lot of people are getting their hands on it. We're into to May, and it doesn't have enough reviews for them to. Let's see how many it's got. 1, 2, 3. It's got 3 reviews on this beer on Rate Beer. So not enough for them to give a rating. The 3 reviews, 3.3, 3.6, and 3.4. So nobody was even up to the 4 in the 4 category on this beer. And I'll agree with that. It's not into the A category in my opinion. So that's where I'm going to leave it. If you had this one from Foothills, this is their IPA of the month, April 2015. Their Finley. Let me know what you think, guys, and let's go see what's in the fridge tomorrow. We're finished up with the Foothills beers. I think I bought March and April. I don't think I've got any other Foothills beers that I purchased, but we'll take a look and see what's in there and dig something good out. See everybody then.